updates here from Pop Turnus. We do Zaria about Pretty Little Liars Summer School debuting on Max May 9th. Welcome to the show. Well, welcome back to the show. It's so good to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
I mean, it's crazy because I went back and saw the interview we did for Original Sin, and it was pretty chaotic. You know what I mean? Like, we talked about the fact that you F-bombed in an HBO promo. There were some dad jokes. Like, how are we going to, like, we have to top it, right?
That is so funny because I don't quite exactly remember what I said, but now that you say that back to me, I'm like, oh yeah, probably did say that.
Yeah, it was a whole thing about like, I was like, you were so excited about this. You're like so excited, like, so excited you because they put that you like swear in a promo. It was the best.
You know what's better than swearing in a promo is saying in another interview that you swear in a promo. You just don't gloss over it, you just double down.
No, it was great. I'm so excited to chat with you about this. I love this. Like, I just love the fact that, you know, everyone's back, but like a way we've kind of never seen it before in this new kind of setting and everything. So like, it's interesting, right? Because like, it's kind of unique for you in the cast, I feel like, because you're like returning. So it's like, yeah, you see everyone, but it's like a whole new world if you think about it. What was that like returning for this specifically?
It's so true. It was so amazing because, you know, we did take some time away and we got to, you know, reconnect with our loved ones and families and do some different work. And all of that was really beautiful. But it's really nice when you have a group of people when you can go back and connect and pick up like you never left off.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely a different season, you know. There's different outfits, you know, we're in bathing suits rather than 16 layers last time, which was cool in its own right, but we're trying new things, which is really fun.
The life of an actor is just kind of waiting until people kind of tell you you're going back.
Yeah,
What can you tell me about like when you found out about it being kind of summer school and like the kind of horror movie vibes? Like how, like what was that all about? Because like did that come with the hey we're returning, or did you know like if you would return it would be like this? Like I'm wondering about that.
You know, I think there were whispers
Okay.
before we found out if it was actually going to happen. I think Grace of Lindsay and Roberto are show's creators who, you know, they are our leaders in every right. I think they saw the struggle of you know, filming upstate New York in the middle of winter, and we really put on a brave face and we did it. And so I think Lindsay kind of hatched the idea of what if it's summer? And I jumped on that because I love summer. That is great for me. I am not a snow girl. You won't really I'll ski for like 30 minutes, but you won't really catch me out there playing in the snow.
It's really crazy you say that because Original Sin isn't like wintry, but it definitely was like a little like more cozy, right?
Yeah. The filming of it was wintry. The filming of it was ice cold, but still fun and, you know, an experience to say the least.
What's it like kind of reading scripts? And I feel like you can answer this with Original Sin as well. Obviously different kind of world storylines and everything, but like, I didn't ask you this last time we spoke, but like that journey of like reading scripts and then going to camera really interests me because so much kind of happens in between, right? So for this show, like, what is that like? What's that like kind of seeing it come to life on screen after reading the summer school scripts?
Oh man, it's almost like magic. I think it's really beautiful because sometimes I describe this feeling when you were a kid and you tried like this donut. I can say Shipley's, you know, it's this Texas donut shop that I went to as a kid, and you have your first Shipley's donut and it's the best you've ever had. And then you go back and it's still great, but it's not the first time. And so what's really brilliant about the way that Roberto and Lindsay kind of set it up is that we do not get all of the scripts at once.
Nope.
We get them, but we are begging for the scripts and while we're filming. And then we get to watch it again. And it's almost like getting a first bite again, which I think is really magical. And it's really beautiful to see what the other actors have done and how they, you know, really improved on the script and how everyone just improves on something that's already so beautiful. So,
100%.
right.
And what was your reaction to the kind of like slasher horror component of this season? Because it's really cool because the timing of it with the genre of horror movies And don't get me wrong, it's got a lot of elements, right? It's not just like a horror movie show, but it's in
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, do you think about the fact that it's like a really good time for that genre right now? Like, it's the most popular movies out there right now.
I don't know if I've thought about it in that way. That's a beautiful way to put it. I think I'm just really excited to be a part of something that can have so many different hints of flavors of
Yep.
things. Wow, am I hungry? I keep just talking about food. But yeah, I do think it's really beautiful that we get to play in so many different arenas. And I love blood. I love, the fear. I think it's quite akin to comedy, and I love comedy. So yeah, I'm all in. I
Do you
love
like
that
horror
we're
movies? Like,
on trend
are
too.
you a
That's
fan of
cool.
horror movies? Like, can you watch horror movies? No.
I can't.
But you
I
started
can't.
that so different because you were like, I like the blood, and I was like,
I
you
do. I like filming with the blood.
Okay.
Actually, I'm okay with watching bloody things. I'm okay with that. What I cannot do are like spiritual ghost things because I don't mess with that. I have too many beliefs that I'm like, I'm just gonna,
It's
leave
really
that there.
funny because I will like go out of my way because pop turn. I just love horror movies, and I'm also like a creative myself. And I was just in LA, and I wrapped a short horror film that I wrote and produced.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, but like the thing is, it's like I make an effort to like cover a lot of like horror movies and everything. And I think the coolest thing, Zaria, is like speaking to like actors who are in like some of the scariest movies I've ever seen, some of the scariest scenes, and they as like people, like not the actor, can't watch horror movies.
Yes.
Like that to me is the weirdest thing.
Yes, I know. It's so funny. And it's actually really reaffirming to hear you say that that's something that you hear, because all of my castmates, they love horror and they love watching horror. And I love horror too. If I'm going to watch a scary movie like Insidious, and I watched Insidious, but I had my brother, I love him to death. He told me before every single jump scare was happening, and I still couldn't sleep for a month. So, if I could take a month off and just not sleep, I could watch horror movies.
I just spoke to Maia Rudolph a couple weeks ago, and she's like, she's like, I can't do them. And then I was just kind of, she's like, you're not going to see
me and Maia, me and her got some stuff in common now, so that's
no,
we
but
go
like,
way
you were
back.
saying like you could do the blood and that stuff. She was like, all of the above. Like we're bringing up different types. She was like, no, like I can't.
Yeah. I can't do it.
No, it's just crazy. It's crazy because people lost their mind. I mean, they're going to get, summer school, Pretty Little Liars summer school, May 9th on Max. And it's really exciting because it's like, 3 days away from debuting, which is crazy. But like people were losing their minds on the trailer that it looked like a horror movie. Like people lost that.
Yeah,
like
it was crazy.
Like
it was so good.
The horror movie fandom, Zaria, does not mess around. Like
I know, and I love them. I love getting to, meet them really, because I'd say it's privilege that I get to, play in the world and also kind of be a part of it now. And I don't take it for granted at all, Yeah, I honestly think it's actually allowed me to venture more in some horror.
Next time you come on the show, you're gonna be like, you know what, Pete? I've watched like
I watch.
I'm really into the genre now.
Yeah, I am into the genre. I just watched Pearl and X, and we watched those back to back. So I can do Saw. I can do all of those. But I cover my eyes. The Exorcist.
I love how the ranking of like, I can do Pearl, I could do, and then in your head you're like Pearl, and you're like, I can do Saw. I'm like, No, that was so good. You're just kind of like building up the momentum.
I'm working their baby steps.
Well, I feel like I love horror movies because of the fact that I feel like I'm like on a do you like roller coasters?
Yes.
Okay. So like when I watch a horror movie, especially like in the movie theater, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster.
Yeah, it feels that way. You know what I always say is I kind of feel I'm a genuinely the most jumpy person I know. Like I can know that someone's in the house, and if they open the door, I still go. So I say like my baseline is jumpy. We don't have to, there's no hat on a hat we need really, but yeah, I do agree that it is an awesome experience and that our show really provides that for people, even for me, even though I know it's coming. So I think everyone's in for a treat.
Oh, it's the best move ever. When I saw, because I'm like you, like I didn't know much, right? Like I knew at one point you were coming back. I didn't know about the summer school component. I saw that and I was like regardless, I was gonna watch it because I really enjoyed Original Sin, but like I love that component of it. I was like, yeah, let's go. You know what I mean?
Thank you. That's how I feel too. It's really awesome.
Amazing. And I kind of wanted to like ask you too. Like we talked a little bit about, you know, the reactions that you get when you watch horror movies and the jump scares and everything. Yeah. I'm wondering, like, it's interesting because there's a lot that kind of happens in the show that, you know, the audience member is like a detective sometimes, like kind of figuring things out and everything. Are you ever conscious of the audience member watching Pretty Little Liars, like when you're making it, or does that kind of happen a little afterwards?
I think it's hard not to consider the people that we hope to make proud.
Yeah.
So I do think they're obviously considered, and you know, we love their feedback. I love interacting with them online. It is really actually so fun. So I do, when I read, you know, have that in mind. Oh, they'll love when Farron says this, or hope they'll love it. But when I'm actually, you know, performing, I have what one of my acting coaches would say is character thoughts. So I'm more so thinking of what Farron is thinking of, like, is she gonna get her nails done today? Or is she proud of how she's doing at school? So that type of thing. So it's both.
When you come back for a season 2, it's so interesting because there's so much probably on your mind with like, all right, we're back. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. But how is it going to be bigger? How is it going to be better? Right? Or like what's going to happen and everything. How do you prepare yourself for all those kind of unanswered questions and all those kind of like things I just mentioned where, you know, some way it will be bigger. It will be better. Because that's the point of all this. Like, how do you prepare yourself for that whole kind of experience? Because I feel like that's not easy. Because sometimes maybe, do you not think about it? Is that basically the answer?
La 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 la. No, you know, what do I think about that? I think that, I guess your question is, where does my mind go if there's any pressure to perform and to kind of multiply on what was already done?
Yes, absolutely.
And I think it's just immense trust in the creators. You know, I trust them and I'm so grateful that they trust me. And I know Farron. And, you know, one of the things that Farron really had to work through is her not knowing herself. So I had to relearn Farron, which was such an amazing exercise as an actor. But in terms of multiplying on what we've already done, which I really believe that we have, you know, you kind of just trust fall into the people that you've chosen to trust fall into. And I'm glad I did, because here we go. Like, you know, you read or you watch the first 15 minutes, and then the first 15 minutes, you're like, ugh. So I can't say what exactly that is, but, you know, watch it and see it.
Yeah,
you'll know that I'm
walking on eggshells. We definitely walk on eggshells in these interviews, right?
Yeah. I'm a tightrope. You gotta keep me.
Pretty Little Liars, Summer School, May 9th on Max, which is crazy. So happy for you and the cast. Zaria, it's so great chatting with you again. Thanks so much for coming back on the show.
Thank you, Pete. You're awesome. It's always so nice. Good laugh with you too.
Of course, all the time. Instagram is the best way where people keep up to date with everything, right? It's just your name.
Yeah. It's Zaria.
So one Zaria is not enough. You need 3.
No, you just need 3. You know, drive that home.
Well, next time you come on the show, because it's your 3rd time too. Next time you come, if you want to come back on the show,
of course, I'd love.
I'll be like, Petey Bean's here with Zaria. Actually, I'm not doing that because that sounds like the stupidest thing of all time. Anyway,
I love it. Let's plan. We can plan for the next one.
Well, this has been Pop Turn of youtube.com/PopTurn for previous episodes. You can, of course, catch Zaria in Pretty Little Liars Summer School, debuting on Max May 9th. Until next time, it's Zaria and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.